And we're live. Hello, everyone. Hello, world. Hello, VanHackers. How is it going? Um, Welcome to this webinar, this very, very special webinar about how to get hired in Waterloo, Canada, or generally about how to get hired in Canada and how to get a job abroad. I'm Ilya, and today I'm really excited to be joined by not only one, not two, but three VanHackers who are all working in the tech scene in Waterloo. We have Ricardo, Marcus, and Andre, and it's actually Andre's birthday today, so wish him happy birthday. We have three great VanHackers here. So before we get any further, and welcome guys, good to have you here. Let's just quickly test the sound. Can you guys all hear us? Can you all see us? If you just could write a quick yes in the chat box. I think it's on this side. It's not this side. But just please write yes, no. I saw someone wish you a happy birthday, so I guess it's working. Cool, Kyle. Awesome, Michael, Aaliyah. Great. It's working. Technology. What a wonderful thing. Cool, guys. Well, let's get into it then. So everyone, just for everyone, maybe I'll quickly do a quick introduction about Waterloo, because maybe not everyone knows what Waterloo is or where Waterloo even is. And then we'll go into everyone's stories and the tech market. So for everyone who doesn't know, Waterloo is a city in Ontario, which is a province in Canada, the most populated province in Canada, close to Toronto, the biggest city. It's about an hour, more or less, drive, right, of 40 minutes, and it's part of a very big tech hub that has grown out of Waterloo, mostly because of the University of Waterloo, which is the best engineering and software and hardware engineering school in Canada, and one of the best in the world. Companies like BlackBerry, if you remember BlackBerry, are founded there, as well as OpenText, Thelma Labs, most recently Marcus can talk about, very large company as well in Waterloo, Vineyard, and many other great startups and tech companies are sprouting up in Waterloo. And also, very interestingly, a lot of American companies like Google, Square, Microsoft, I'm sure there's many others who have offices in Waterloo because of the great tech talent that comes from the university, and it kind of makes it a hub for technology. So we're really excited to be sharing how you can get in and connect into this amazing ecosystem. So without further ado, get into the stories of these three amazing VanHackers who have done this, and kind of hear what their journey is about. So guys, if you could first introduce yourselves. Let's start with the birthday boy. Andre, if you want to just quickly tell us, who you are, where you're from, what you work with, and then we'll go deeper into the story of how you came to Waterloo afterwards. People are saying there's a connection problem, though. Can I just confirm? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Sorry, I just want to make sure that people can hear us. I can see you guys, but let's just keep going, and hopefully things are okay. Okay, great. So Andre, let's get into it. So tell us about yourself.
So I'm Andre Reis. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I came to Canada in August 2016, and it was very tough. I planned this like 2 years to be here now. I'm very happy. And I studied in the PUC-Rio University, the one of the best universities in Rio de Janeiro. I studied computer engineering. And after that, I did the master's degree in informatics. And my specialization is human interface interaction. But here I'm working with Node.js, Ember, and now, like the last 2 months, I start to work with Android development.
Very cool, awesome, Andre. Thanks for that. And I think I just will keep it like this because there's too much going bigger and smaller with the screen. Usually when there's two guests, I do that. Anyway, very cool. Yeah, we'll get deeper into the story of how it all worked and you got the job and everything soon. But thanks for the introduction. Let's go to Ricardo, and then we'll finish with Marcus. So Ricardo, please, who are you, where are you from, and what do you do?
Hi everyone. I'm Ricardo Gomide in Brazil, right? Here is Gomide. Nobody says Gomide. And I'm from Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. My academic background is based in computer science, and after that, I completed a master's degree in infrastructure IT management using open source technology. So my career is a little bit different than the most VanHackers because I'm more focused on system administration, network, and stuff like that. So my career was related to data center and system administrator, working on both platforms, I mean Linux and Unix, basically since 2004 and 5 when I began. So the areas that I'm most involved with are virtualization, of course, using VMware, Azure, Citrix. And I had a chance to work in Brazil as well during 2014, 2015, with some cloud platforms like Amazon S3 and OpenStack. Additionally, I had some background in database administration. It's a part of our functions of our business, so Microsoft SQL and MySQL. So I'm married for 8 years, and I'm 32 years old right now. And I decided to come to Waterloo after a big research that I made. So I compare cost of living and academic aspects because my wife would study here, so would not work if she came to a place that the recognition was not good. And then I figured out that Waterloo has a great universities, great college as well, is well recognized all around the world. So it was great. And the IT market was really strong as well for every position and related to IT as well. So it was very important. And consider that when I came at first, I could not work because I didn't have a work permit. So I was studying English and French. I had to find a place with a cost versus living was affordable for me because I didn't want to spend all my money in Canada because living in Canada is expensive if you don't earn Canadian money. So Canadian dollars. Brazilian doesn't, they go very fast. So this region offers everything that I would like to have, like academic parts, work parts, and a great quality of life. And I feel very excited to be here with my wife, my little dog, and for almost 8 months. And that's why I choose this place.
Fantastic. Awesome. That's really exciting, Ricardo. And yeah, you guys will be seeing the dog soon. Just a special surprise for everyone in a little bit. But yeah, let's get to the last but not least, Marcus. You arrived just recently, actually, about a month ago, right, to Waterloo? A little bit more than that, right?
Yeah, it's been almost 2 months now. So
cool.
Hi there, hi everyone. Welcome to the webinar. I'm Marcos. I'm working currently for Thelmic Labs. And okay, to introduce myself, I would say that I'm graduated in computer engineering in a university in the south of Brazil. I used to live in Florianopolis until I got here to Canada. It's an awesome place. And I used to work with, I was an embedded software engineer. I was working mainly with Linux embedded and doing software for it. It was mostly high level software. So I'm an embedded software engineer, but I don't work embedded anymore. And my experience is mostly with C++ and C in a Linux environment, and mainly any scripting language like JavaScript, Shell script, anything script I can work with, and C++. And now I'm working for Thelmic, and I'm a software engineer there. We are doing really amazing stuff, and we need people. So you are all welcome to apply.
Awesome. Yeah. I guess one other thing that's important, Marcus, to mention is that you got hired in December, right? So you got a job before you arrived to Canada.
Yeah, that's was like leaving that for later, but yeah, I started everything with the Van Hackathon a long time ago. It was last October, I guess. It was the Van Hackathon, and I was hired in December, and I was just able to arrive here in May because of the visa stuff. But all the story I'll tell in the next question.
For sure, yeah. And quickly about anyone who doesn't know this, if you've been living under a rock, there's a new visa in Canada called the Global Skills Visa that came out on June 12th. So it's been about a month, and it's working really well. Actually, I saw your CEO tweet about how he was able to process someone's visa in 2 weeks, right, Marcus? To Stephen, and so it's really exciting. So people who in Marcus' situation, get hired before go to Canada won't have to wait for many months. Now, just a couple of weeks, maybe 1 month, and you can move and get to your new job. So anyway, let's get into why Waterloo. Waterloo seems like this small town in the middle of nowhere. It's not. But most people here probably hadn't heard of Waterloo before. You think of Toronto, you think of Montreal, Vancouver, of course, and you don't really think of the city. So what made you three, and anyone can answer, no specific order, decide to move to the city? What was the main attraction for you?
So I can start.
Let's go with the birthday wagon.
In my university, there is a famous teacher there that's doing to come here to Waterloo to teach for during like six months of the year. So I already know about Waterloo before here. So I started to I did something very different from the other people, because the first thing I started to search is about a PhD, to do a PhD here. So I started to enter in the university's website and seek for teachers and ask the teachers how can I come here and study here. So my wife has a graduation in informatics too, so I prefer to her. She started to study here, and I'm working here. So we did like difference. But one day the first thing that everyone think is to do a college here. So the first this is my plan B. It should be here doing a college and another one study. But if you do a PhD, so PhD is different. So you can earn money at the same time as you doing studying here. So it's you don't lose money. Is this the difference between the college and you do a PhD or master's degree? You can like stay. The money that you get, you spend in paying the university. So it's like a win-win game.
Free.
Yeah. So we are very lucky to find a teacher here that likes my wife and give her the opportunity to study here. So it's why I choose Waterloo in the first. And the second is like first I started to see the Toronto as the first place to live, because it's like last year there is a flight. There was a flight from the Rio de Janeiro to Toronto, so it's easier to someone from my family goes visit me, for example. But now there is no more this flight, so it's a problem now. Anyone?
But you can go from Sao Paulo, no? Toronto, Sao Paulo.
Yeah. The flight now is very expensive. So Waterloo is my second choice, because like as a IT professional, it is the best place to live here. But there is one more thing that's very good here is Toronto more expensive than live here in Waterloo. So here it's like a rural zone. It's like there's a lot of farmers here, and there's it's a little empty. It's difficult to explain, but it's you don't see crowds of people here. So this is one thing that I love here. It's very different from Rio de Janeiro, that you can walk on the streets and there is one or nothing, one or no person on the streets.
Nice. That's cool. A lot of nature.
A lot of nature. This is very good. A lot of trails, and everyone can ride a bike here. There's a lot of ways of cycle lanes, bike lanes here. So
nice.
you don't, yeah. And everyone here has a car. So if you one day you dream to live in a house, that is very difficult in Brazil. Live in a house. So here is very easy to do this.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it definitely seems like a good place to raise your family.
Yeah,
as well as get a good good position from professionals' point of view. Very, very cool. One thing just quickly you reminded me, Andre, is that the way we are thinking of how to expand VanHack in different cities is cities where it's a nice city to ride a bike. This is our metric. So it's not actually, but it's always nice to go to. You can see the quality of life of a city by how bikeable it is, I think. So, yeah, very cool.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Here is awesome to use the bikes. The only problem is the winter, but there are people here that bike in the winter. There is a huge tires to bike in there, but
Canadians.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. Well, thanks. That's really nice, and I like this explanation of the studying and how it was able to help you. So that's really nice. Seems like a great program. Maybe if you have a link you can find for people to see in the chat, that could be nice too.
The website.
Show people. Yeah, maybe just share the website. I'm sure some people are curious about this. Cool. Awesome. So let's go in the same order just to keep things simple. Ricardo, what about you? Why did you choose Waterloo?
Well, as I said before, there are three aspects that I choose Waterloo. Academic aspects, like how great are the university and college over here. I'm not studying here, but my wife is. Right now, she's at her course, so it's very important to spend time doing something with. Is really, it's somebody can value, somebody can understand how it value for you. So academic was very important. Also IT market. So I made a research on Indeed, LinkedIn, and other job boards, and I found great jobs over here. And the rate they used to pay, it's pretty similar to Vancouver. It's pretty similar to Toronto, for example, or even some other Montreal or Quebec. But you can live here for much less than you can live in Toronto, for example. Mm-hmm. So this is one very important thing. If you think it start your life in Waterloo, for example, you can live in a pretty nice house. You can have 1 or 2 cars and maintain your house, your family of 2 or 3 people with $3,000 per month. I spend less than that living here with my wife and my dog. And I live in a townhouse with 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, double garage for 2 cars in a beautiful garden, a beautiful neighborhood. And so it was really affordable. So when you make money, let's suppose you make $100 per year, it's a lot of money to live here. If you go to Toronto or Vancouver, it's not that much, You still having money, but it's not a lot. It's just a reasonable starter. I mean, to start, you know. So this was very special. Another thing that I would like to avoid is related to traffic. I hate traffic. And in Belo Horizonte, it was each day more and more terrible. So here I commute to my company by biking for 15 to 20 minutes. And when I arrive there, I have a bathroom to take a shower and then to get to work. Today was raining, so I had to use my car. So it was 5 minutes. And one important thing to stand out, it's our region is composed by basically 4 cities: Waterloo, Kitchener, Cambridge, and Guelph. Those cities are pretty close one with each other, and they are about 400,000 to 500,000 people. So we got some people over here, but they are spread out. They are not very close and very tight each other. Like Toronto, for example, with the demographic density is very high, like Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, or even Belo Horizonte. Here we have a pretty large amount of people. In Kitchener, for example, we have 300,000 people. Waterloo, the population fluctuates because the university. Right now, for example, there are 20,000 less people in Waterloo because they are in their hometown, for example. But during the winter, when they will come back, it's going to be about more than 100,000 people just in Waterloo. In Cambridge, it's small, but there are some tech industries. There's some other kind of industries as well. And we are, as Andre said before, we have a great, let's say, leisure activities to perform over here. Nature things like lakes. Some people call beaches because you can't see the other side. The lake is very big, so you have a sand. You think it's a beach, but it's not, right? And we are about 1 hour to Toronto, to the international airport. It's really easy to go to Brazil, for example. If you get a bus or a train or even your car and you go to Mississauga, where is the international airport, and if you are lucky, in 14 hours you are in São Paulo, for example, or even in Europe. So the first time that I heard about Waterloo was through VanHack, of course. Ilya told me about VanHack, about Waterloo region. When I start to research about a place to live, and Beto Lucena, who live here, he's here for a while. He graduated, post-graduated, master graduated, and PhD graduated, and then Monster graduated, and we recommended the city as well. So I think those aspects really stands out for me and for my wife, of course. And we are here, very safe place. You know, we can, as you said, you can raise our family pretty comfortable, and that's the way that I would like to live, and I'm living right now. Thanks God for that.
That's so cool, Ricardo. Wow, really inspiring. And I have to make a confession. I don't remember telling you this this is about Waterloo, but I'm glad I did, because it seems like things have really worked out well for you. So congratulations for all your success there. And of course, we'll get deeper into the professional side of things in the next question. But let's finish here with this one. Marcus, how about yourself? What was the motivation to come to Waterloo?
Oh, there were a few motivations. I think the first one was knowing that it was a small city, but it had everything like Toronto, but it's not that crowded as Toronto. Like the other guy said, the streets are empty. You can bike anywhere. Everyone looks like it's not in a hurry. It's not late to work or anything like that. But actually, what we knew in Brazil, I have a list of things that we knew here in Brazil. We knew that it was safer than Toronto, because it's not that crowded. So you don't see that many people on the street, like beggars or something like that. And even when you see, you don't feel scared by them. They are like nice people. I was assaulted the other day, but the guy, like verbally assaulted, he said, "Oh, nice dog," and that was my worst experience here, like in terms of safety. We knew that it's a city that doesn't rain that much. We thought about Vancouver, but a city that rain half a year, so it's not good for us. We hate rain. We prefer snow. I didn't get any like during living here, but we visited, and it's much easier than the rain. The other point is that it's a good city for immigrants because only 30% of the city are Canadian. So you go everywhere and you see Canadians, of course, there are a lot of them, but you feel they don't look at you like you are a strange guy because there are so many people that are not from here. And it's a very green city. It's a safe city. You can bike anywhere, like everyone said. And there's a lot of jobs. That obviously was the one thing that we thought about, me and my wife. It's good for me that a lot of companies, tech companies, and it's good for her because she works with children. And there is like everyone said, it's a family town. It's good to raise a family, so it's good to work with children. And that were the main, like the main reasons we came to the city.
Very cool, very cool. I have to say, you look like a Canadian now with your beard, so you blend right in, man.
Yeah, I just have to cut my hair. They don't have like hairs like this here. Usually they have big beards and small hairs. But I didn't have time to find a place to cut my hair yet.
It's okay. That's awesome. You mentioned quickly your dog. I was wondering if you guys have, if the dogs are close by, you guys can have a cameo with them. Is it possible, or did they run away?
No, she just ran upstairs. It's not here.
My wife arrived now at home, so now my dog's downstairs.
Okay, so we only have one dog then from everyone. Cool. That's awesome, Ricardo.
Nice dog.
Nice dog, exactly. Awesome, cool, guys. So before we continue, I just want to quickly say, guys, I'm seeing all the awesome chat in the chat room. I think this side, right? This side, the opposite. Guys, yeah. Thank you for all the great questions, comments. I just want to say we see your questions and I'm trying to answer them as we go here, but don't worry, we'll have a lot of time for questions closer to the end of the webinar. So if you have any questions, like I saw a question about salaries, questions about different skills, all that stuff, like we'll definitely answer those. But of course, if you have questions, just ask them and kind of like, I'll try and answer my best. But if I don't get to, I just want to say it's not because I don't want to, it's just because there's a lot of content to cover, especially with three great guests. So let's get into the meat, right? So let's get into the professional side, because that's what everyone's here for, is to get hired. Sorry. So yeah, the dogs are want to participate. And so guys, let's go again in the same order. What's the company you work for again? What does the company do? What is your role? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? What the team looks like? How is the interview? It doesn't have to be like anything specific. Just tell me more about the professional experience, the professional side. What's it like working in a Canadian company versus maybe a company in your home country? Things like this. Andre, please. Go ahead.
I'm working for this company here, Bitvine.
Cool.
The awesome. Link of it. So my job here, I was hired to work with Android development. So I started and stayed was 6 months working with Node.js, Ember, CoffeeScript, Node.js. And after these 6 months, I started to work with Android development. That's what I'm doing now, doing the first app for this company. The company this company only it's only working now on UK. So it's not working in Canada or in Brazil. I only send the website for people to see. But my company is a relation between someone that needs to have a work done, like a service. So it can be any service, and you can hire people from the website. So carpet cleaner, dog walking, personal trainer, photographers. So everything you can find there. And I spent like 3.5 months, more or less, trying to find this job. The Bitvine, I think, was my 7th interview, and it was all my interviews more is like 90% is related with algorithms, and not directly with Node.js or Android. So it's very important to study and not like a focus in one language, but more related with the algorithms. And it's like it's a small company. It's like 10 people. People are like leaving, and people are hiring new people. So it's like more or less they stay like small at the moment. It's not like Atomic Labs that is growing very fast. So what do you like to know more, Ilya?
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm curious about how the differences in the maybe work environment or culture between your companies you used to work back in Rio and in Bitvine in Canada.
This is a difficult question. I have like it's very different. The Canadian culture is very different. So in my experience, it will be different from the Ricardo experience, I think, because the people are different. So in my office, like it's all the days like very calm. Anyone speaking nothing, and normally we use the Slack to talk, or you can give it some answers or questions, and like anyone stop to lunch. The lunch is very quickly. Normally Canadians lunch at the front of the monitor and eat something very small. It's not a lunch with rice and beans and meat and everything, and you stop up and like spend 1 hour. Normally they spend. I am the guy that spend the more time, like 40 minutes, 30 minutes. Canadians spend like 15, 20 minutes to eat. And normally they eat like carrots and vegetables, and that's it. Or noodles. Vegan. If it's Chinese guy, it's noodles. And we have like daily meetings every day, reunion, a meeting with the UK people, with the UK staff every Monday. The place is like in the Conestoga, it's in the downtown Kitchener, close to the bus station and Victoria Park. And it's this is not a huge place, but it's like it's a very open space, and everyone can see everyone, and it's very different from the offices from Brazil. And then my office from Brazil like 300 people, and now it's like 10. And startup, and it's different because startup is you need to do things very quickly. They need to launch new features very quickly, and you don't stop working. You're always working, like from 9 and 5 p.m. and sometimes until 7 p.m. In Brazil, I was in the same job for 7 years, so it was more calm. you have more time to think and go to drink a coffee. And now it's not like this. Like I need to work from 9 to 5 p.m. and work hard. So
did you used to work for the government? I forget. Yeah. You worked for Petrobras, right? It was the government. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that explains it, because I know other people in Brazil don't work these calm hours too, right? Yeah.
So it's what is more impacting. This is for the most impacting thing for me.
Cool. Awesome, Andre. Thanks. That's definitely a big change. It seems like it not only people are here saying no coffee. I'm sure they have good coffee.
There's a lot of coffee.
My job has coffee. Yeah, you can drink coffee.
Yeah. I think if you tell people there's
a coffee machine there,
no one is coming.
No. There is a coffee machine there. There is a guy that drink coffee all day, like more than 6 cups per day.
Oh,
so only the problem is me. I don't drink coffee, like a lot of coffee, only 1 per day.
That's still pretty good.
But you drink coffee and work at the same time. You can drink coffee and talking about your life.
Right. Well, I guess going to work for one of the world's largest state-run oil companies to working at an early stage startup in Canada is definitely a big difference. So I can imagine the culture shock a little bit there, Andre. Very cool though, and congrats on the position, and I'm sure you're learning a lot, and so that's fantastic.
I'm very excited now that I'm learning a lot of Android development, and every day I'm learning new things, and it will be very good for my career.
Cool. I'm curious, just a very specific question, but are you working with Kotlin at all? I know this is becoming a bigger thing.
Not now. I'm working alone in the Android development, and I choose not to working with Kotlin now because we don't have a lot of research. If you search something on the internet, you only find the Java. So I will postpone for 1 year, and after that I can transform the code to Kotlin.
Interesting. Very cool. Yeah, it's because I'm hearing a lot of companies are looking for the skills. Anyway, that's a very, very specific thing. Cool. Awesome. Andre, very, very nice. Was the joke is a programmer is a machine that turns coffee into code, right? So I guess you just need a couple of coffees a day and be working even better. Cool, man. Awesome. All right, Ricardo, what about you? How is the job? What's the company you work for? Tell us more.
All right. Just a parenthesis about the coffee. As my director says, the problem is not the amount of coffee that you drink, is that how many times you have to go to the bathroom during the day. That's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem with coffee. Yeah, they make some jokes about coffee here because everyone is very addicted about coffee. So, the company that I work is called Agfa. It's a European company, headquartered in Belgium, in a city called Mortsel. And Agfa has about 10,000 workers, direct workers all over the world. The North America headquarters is here in Waterloo. They put the headquarters here in a very strategic way because it's a very interesting place to commute to Europe, to commute to the United States, or even to other places, and also Canada, of course, because there is a lot of business over here. So the segment that I'm working right now, it's called IT healthcare industry. It used to be just a healthcare industry, but nowadays every IT technology runs on the top of IT. So they call IT healthcare industry. So I'm global deployment specialist. basically before Agfa deploy its own software, I mean the software which will control the hospital, will acquire images from the modality. Modality is like radiology, cardiology, mammography, ultrasound, those aspects. Equipments who acquire images from the patients, from the heart part, from the legs, from the brain, everywhere. So those they call studies, and these studies are managed by the company software. Also, the patients are managed by the software. And here in Canada, for example, all the healthcare is public. All the healthcare is public. So the hospitals, they are kind of integrated. If you go to a hospital in Toronto and then you go to Vancouver, you have a patient ID that identify you where you are in some past experience that we have. So it's a very regulated profession and area. So everything is about training, about regulation. Like in Brazil, we have, I think it's Anvisa. In the United States, they have their own regulation. Here, they share the same of the United States, in Europe as well. So my job is prepare the environment to deploy the software. I mean, the storage, the servers, the network, the cloud environment, everything is virtualized. And the database and the DR, I mean, discover, recover, disaster recover plans, business continuity plan, and also high availability environment. So that's what I do in my daily basis. Yesterday, I was deploying this infrastructure in Valencia in Spain. Today, I was working for San Antonio Hospital in Texas, deploying the cloud environment for them. And tomorrow, I will be working for a small clinic in Calgary, in Canada. So everything is about projects, and I have to keep up with them, and they don't care about anything. They don't care about my time. They don't care about the time that I start to work, where I'm working, what time I have to start or finish it, or they don't care about that. They care about my results. They care about what I do. It's done properly. It's on time. It's reported. It's well done. Okay, so there's a department called verification and validation. They track you, and then if you are good, no problems at all. If you are at work, if you are at home, no problem. So by saying that, you can see it's very different from most companies in Brazil. I know it's Brazil are evolving in these aspects as well. I mean, the companies are absorbing this methodology for give more responsibility for the employees, but also give them more flexibility, right? So here they already found that stuff. They already know that work. So it's very different. I barely see my manager. It's very hard, but he knows everything that I'm doing, and I feel comfortable. If you one interview, you say I'm a very responsible guy, they're gonna be weird, because responsible is one thing that everyone has to be. You have to be responsible. You can't be responsible at some place. You are responsible for the nature. So I think it's, like André said, it's very, very different from Brazil, and they give you a lot of flexibility, and you have to perform your work properly, and then you'll be succeeded, right? It was very weird for me, because at first I started to report my actions to my manager. Okay, I'm doing that. I'm doing that one. Next, I'm going to do the other project. And then I perceived the environment and I said, oh, nobody reports anything in a verbal way, in a daily basis. They just write what they're doing. And of course, there are meetings and you can discuss, you can sometimes expose something that's important or should be exposed. But in a normal day, you don't have to do that. It's they are not interested in know what time you wake up to work.
Right. It's more about the results. If you get things done, if you do a good job, then that's good. Good things will happen.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I just want to move on quickly to Marcus. I just realized we only have 8 minutes left. This webinar is flying by. So Marcus, tell us about your journey to get hired at VanHack Labs and how it's been for the last 2 months here.
Okay, I first heard about Waterloo through VanHack. You posted some article about like small cities, small tech hubs across Canada, and Waterloo was one of them. So I started searching about the city and seeing about the jobs, and I found more than 60 companies, and at least 20 of them have had job offers, not job offers, but job posts about that required C++. So I knew that I had a lot of place to work here. So I started like searching. Oh, the dog is back. Okay, so I started searching about, and there is coffee, as you guys can see.
Andre, unmute yourself. Anyways, yeah.
So, right, going back, I started. I knew about. I've come to know about VanHack Labs through VanHack as well, because they were participating in the VanHackathon, and I took the challenge from them, the C++ challenge, and the process started there. We spent 4 months in the process of being hired in all the interviews. I've been to more than 10 interviews, called challenges, talk with managers, talk with the whole team. It was a really intense process. I believe the other guys can say too, the selective process here, the interview processes are really different in Brazil. There's a lot of like questions, tricky questions. You must be prepared to these interviews. It's not just like in Brazil. You just go talk about your resume and okay, we're hiring. No, it's really different. They don't care that much about your background, like your tech background, because if they are talking to you, they know you already have what they need. But the profile, not the profile, I don't know how to say that, but the attitude of the person is really different. They like to find a person with the right skills, soft skills they call. And okay, but I'm wandering around. So the interview process was long. And one thing I can answer, because I'm getting word here, the guys are saying, oh no, we don't have coffee there. Yes, let me explain what the guys were saying about the coffee. That's really important. You can drink coffee. There is a lot of good coffees here. We have a lot of different types of coffee in VanHack, and you can drink as much as you like. But the people usually don't spend that much time in the coffee zone, let's say on the kitchen. You just grab your coffee, you go to your table, and you work like crazy because you need to deliver, and you need to deliver fast. My manager once said to me, I don't care how much time you spend sitting on a chair, I just want the work done. So we have flexible hours in VanHack. Usually I work at night at home, or before going to VanHack, I work a little bit in my place. But the important thing is you need to do the stuff they need. That's how it works here, and that's what's different from Brazil. In Brazil, I felt that the important thing was to be at the company, not deliver the work. It's important that you spend there 8 hours, 9 hours a day, but the work, okay, if you did it, it's okay. If you're not, you'll have more time. I think that's the main difference between Brazilian companies and like Canadian companies, as far as I can tell.
Interesting. Yeah. It's not just they say how much your butt is in the seat, right? Like you said, it's much more about the product and getting it done. Very, very cool. And what's it like? Just for everyone to know, the company that Marcus works for is definitely one of the more popular companies in Canada. They had an investment of over $150 million last year, and they're building some really cool products. What's it like in the day to day? How is that? What's it like there?
I would say that each day looks like a week. You do so many stuff. You talk to that many people. You have a lot of meetings, and the meetings are like productive. You do a lot of stuff. You really work during the meetings. Sometimes you are on a meeting doing some code as well, because you are not like talking to the other people. It's not relevant to you, that part, so you can do anything else. And it's really crazy. I was talking with another people who were there for much more time than I am. There is a Brazilian in there that said it's the first week that I have time to like talk to people, because the work is really intense. Wow. You talk a lot to a lot of people. You do a lot. That's what I can say. I was talking, a nice thing that I would like to add. I was talking just about that with my wife today, that in Brazil, if you have a meeting at 10 a.m., and it's 9:30, you don't talk to anyone about job, because you won't have enough time to solve the problem. But here, it's 10 to 10, and you are talking to people because you need to solve that before the meeting.
Yeah, so the meeting actually starts at 10, right? Or 10:01 or something.
Yeah, and the meeting starts at 10, and if it's supposed to finish at 11, it's finished at 11. It's undiscussable about that. It's really nice, hilarious. Though. You see that you are doing like nice stuff, and your job is being like, it's going forward. That's really good to see. It's not that bad. Actually, it's awesome.
Yeah, because you're busy, you're working hard, but there's results, and you're growing, and you're building new products. I don't know if you can say it, but when is the new product coming? I don't know if you're able to share a date.
No, but, I cannot say like anything about the product. Just that is amazing.
That's cool. Yeah, for everyone who just for everyone to understand, the VanHack Labs announced that they will create a new product. And if you haven't already gone to their website, definitely check it out, guys. They said they're going to launch a new product, and it's going to be exciting, very amazing, and to change the way computers interact. So Marcus is working a very top secret, very, very cool project that he can't talk about. So especially since this is recorded, if Marcus's manager is watching, he did a good job. Didn't share anything, which is great. So cool, Marcus. Guys, I can't believe we already out of time. We have 1 minute left officially. As all guess good Canadian meetings do, we'll end here in terms of the formal part of the webinar. I know we didn't get too deep into the subjects, but I think getting this amazing overview of not only the city of Waterloo, just generally the Canadian market, as well as your experiences going actually and getting the jobs, hopefully helped everyone here. Don't be sad, Nelson Fran. I will stick around, and if you guys want to stick around as well, you're welcome to. But I'm sure you have wives and pets to take care of, or to be with. So feel free to go. And Andre, I'm sure you have a birthday party as well, so go and enjoy that. Yeah, and everyone here, please let's take some time for questions, whether that's to me or to the guys. And guys, of course, if you have to run, please feel free to go enjoy your evenings. So yeah, let's see with some questions from the audience. And once again, guys, thank you so much for taking your time. This is exactly the VanHack spirit. Share your experience after you got hired. So we have 3 amazing VanHack Premium members who all got fantastic jobs in Canada, and they're here just to share because they want to help. So guys, please say thank you to everyone, and or to Andre, Ricardo, and Marcus, and let's get some questions. So yeah, cool. Any questions? We had a question here from Caio. Did you get hired while still in Brazil? If yes, how did you do it? Did you want to say something, Andre? Sorry.
Can I add one thing? I think Marcos can help. Like Atomic Labs is always hiring new people, but they always need the best of the best of the entire world. So if Marcos is there, it's because if Marcos is very good in C++.
Thank you.
I don't know, Marcos, do you remember the website that they use for people to do algorithm tests, like C++ tests?
Yes, I'll share here. It's HackerRank.
Yeah, HackerRank. So the first thing and the most important thing to be hired in any company here is to do all the tests of this website, HackerRank. And there is another website too, but I don't remember now. But I studied three different websites, HackerX, and there is another one, I think. And these tests are very important. And the most important thing, I think, is you will be very well on these tests.
Nice. Yeah. Soon VanHack will have something like this inside VanHack as well. But yeah, I completely agree with you that these are great tools for you to train on.
I think I use the HackerRank and Lead Code from this both, and I like more than 60% of the, I think more than 70% of all the interviews that I passed through, they used one of these websites to do the first or the second interview. And if you are in Brazil and you go into the Canada, it's like 100% sure that they will give you something to do on these websites.
Great tip.
And answering fonts, how did I do? I took the VanHack challenge, the VanHackathon. That's amazing. And another thing, I studied a lot how to do these tests in HackerRank. I saw a lot of job interviews from Google, like they have this website to prepare you for their interviews. I looked the whole website that they have. I spent I don't know, 5 hours seeing all the videos, how this type of interview works, and it really helped. So it's a good place to know, to look around.
Cool. And you did the VanHack Premium job in interview practice as well.
Oh yes, I was the host for the interviews.
Yeah. Marcus was actually also teaching as well. So both student and teacher, which is fantastic.
My first Canadian job was at VanHack. Thank you, William. My Canadian experience.
Yeah, well, I think it helped this much, and your own experience helps a little bit more. Cool, guys. So any other questions? We're getting a lot of questions about different skills. So business analysts, et cetera, different skills, Node, whatever. Guys, just go to indeed.ca and check, search the skill inside the city Waterloo, and you'll see exactly the jobs. And you can do that for any city and any skills. So just we don't have to answer the same kind of question many times. Just do that search, and it'll tell you the exact number. Because that's what I do when someone asks me what the skills are in what city.
The Waterloo Tech Jobs. It's a good website to see Waterloo. They changed to Working Tech, I think.
Workintech.ca. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I just saw someone was from Cuba. Dan, wow, very nice to see you here, all the way from Cuba. Very, very cool. That's awesome. I love when people from all over the world join VanHack. Someone from Kosovo. I saw Abdullah here from Pakistan. I think you must have woken up, Abdullah, at like 6 in the morning to watch this webinar. Incredible. Great to have you here. Wow. Ernest from Haiti. That's so cool. Sorry, guys. For me, this is like the most awesome thing with VanHack. And I don't think I've talked a lot about this, but really we're thinking more about this international world and building a borderless world with our vision for VanHack. And so, yeah, wow, Abdullah, 5 a.m., even earlier than I thought. You are a serious VanHacker. Hey, from Turkey, awesome. Cool, Yusel. You are also up early in the morning at 3 in the morning right now, and I think 3 or 4 in the morning in Turkey. Ethiopia, holy crap. Guys, you're blowing my mind here. Oh wow! Sorry guys, this is so cool. Yeah, spasibo, Rafael. I know you're not from Russia, but I like how you have a Russian name. That's so cool. Awesome. Cool. Let's keep going. One question that people have asked is English. I've seen a couple questions about this. So yeah, how did you guys deal with English as like a part of the interview process or preparation for the job interviews in English?
I would say that is the most important thing that we have to know in order to get hired here.
Boom.
No matter how great you are technically, if your English is not enough, you can't go further in the interview process, because usually they have what they call pre-screen interview. During the pre-screen interview, somebody will call you or through Skype or whatever, and they will make some basic questions for you. And the purpose of those questions is evaluate a little bit of your resume, but of course, to see if you can communicate in English. And this one is the toughest part. If you are a really good tech guy, like Marcos, really nice guy, right? But if he could not speak English, he never will be hired for that company. They will never hire him. Because if you can't communicate, basically, you can't express your idea. If you don't express your idea, you are like a dumb people. You are. It's like in Brazil, if you start to talk with somebody who can't speak Portuguese, you think this guy, he doesn't really intelligent. He's not smart enough. But because he doesn't know speak Portuguese, English is the same. So we are competing with Canadian citizens and with permanent resident guys. The companies over here in Waterloo, they were very welcome for immigrants since they can communicate in English, both in verbal, oral, or in written way. If you can't do that, it would be a challenge.
Definitely. Anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, English is certainly the most important thing you can express. Like, you need to express yourself, as Ricardo said, and you need to show that you know how to code, you know how to solve the problems. So you need to communicate. That's easy, simple as that. The English, the tips I gave in another interview for VanHack. The first one is learn English. The second one, listen to your wife. The third one, okay, study all the other stuff.
Yes, I remember very well this here. Guys, if you want to watch the Marcus's success case interview, Andre also has one that we made. Ricardo, I guess, will have to make one with you as well, especially for infrastructure. We don't have too many success cases with this, so let's do that soon. But yeah, I totally agree about English. Did you want to say something, Andre?
Yeah, I think my English until today, it's a bad English for here. And like all my life, I have difficult to learn English, French, and Spanish. I have difficulty with language, and like I never imagined one day to be here in Canada speaking English, because like I was horrible in English in the school, in the university, and everything. So I have difficulty until today to understand and talk in English. But it's very tough. It's tough to be here, and like it's very like Ricardo and Marco said, like it's the most important thing is have a good English, because I suffer with this every day. If you meet someone new and you don't speak English very well, they lost focus on you. I can see this every day. Like if you talk with someone on the street and they start to talk with you and you say something, you lost yourself and you start to say the same thing all the times, like I'm saying now. They start to look to the floor or to the top or look to the cars on the street and lost like I'd like to go and leave this guy here. So this is the problem. If you don't speak English very well, the people, you lose focus on you. You lose the interest. So I see this every day because I before I started working, I went to a lot of meetings, tech meetings, like Hacker Nest and health. It's a meeting for health and systems, and I have the T-shirt here. It's I like more than 4 types of meetings every week, and I start to talk with people that I never saw before, and people lose the interest because I don't speak English very well. So this is the most important thing. And until today, in the work and in the meetings and the friends that I have, Canadian friends that I have here, I see in your eyes, in the eyes of the people, that they lose interest because I don't speak English very well.
Cool, but then I'm sure also at the same time that they're very open to this, right?
Yes.
That it's not like, oh, you don't speak English, forget about it. Maybe it's like, how's the balance?
No, I know that the people that they try to listen you and understand. I don't have any problem with the racist, or if I'm a Latin, or they confuse me with Mexican people. No, I don't have any problem with this. People are friendly. People are open to you. I don't have any problem in my work with this. And I work with Indian people, Chinese people, and everyone here in Canada can work together. And like, this is the most wonderful thing for me, is like, you need to accept every type or every kind of people here from all around the world. And I think it's great in the job, on my job, and I think Marcus too, to see different cultures and people eating different things, and you only see this here. And I think Canada works because of this, because people are open to other cultures.
Cool. I totally agree. And yeah, I know Toronto, I think, is the most multicultural city in the world. Yeah. And Canada is a country of immigrants. I myself was an immigrant just a little bit earlier, but we all kind of come to Canada to look for a better life. So not only Canada, of course, there's many countries that are great, but specifically now about Canada for sure.
I start to have a better English when I start to study to IELTS, because I have the IELTS test before I go to Canada. And before that, like, my English was horrible. So if you have a horrible English, you can be here. Like, it's not imperative. You only need to study and practice every day and talk with your dog. I talk with my dog in English. I talk with my wife in English, and try to. The important thing, you can say the things, the words wrong, but you need fluency. You can't stop talking, and month per month you will be good, increase a little your experience.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say now, right? Your English is always getting better.
Yeah.
So guys, I need to say goodbyes to you. It was really nice. You can stay here. I just need to go. I need to go to supermarket. Tomorrow I will be without car, so I have to solve that quickly. So cool, guys, Marcus, you can feel free to add me in LinkedIn. It was awesome sharing my experience with the other awesome VanHackers and Ilya. So talk to you guys. Bye.
Bye, Marcus.
Have a great time. And yeah, thank you so much.
Enjoy the supermarket. I love the supermarket here.
Whoa, different now.
Yeah.
Do you have Costco? This is so random.
Yes, I have Costco 3 minutes far from my house.
Oh my God, it's a dream.
Yeah. I was there now.
Awesome.
To buy my cake.
That's fantastic. That's great. You got to go to Dairy Queen for the cake.
I was in Dairy Queen yesterday.
2 cakes?
Yeah. No, for my friend. My friend was a birthday from my friend, and I bought like from
Right, the chocolate log with the
No, I didn't buy the chocolate.
Oh my gosh. Well,
The
okay.
strawberry, because there's a friend here that don't eat chocolate. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. What is?
All right, guys, we're an hour and 15 minutes into the webinar. You see, we're talking about random things, which is fine. And I hope you guys understand that moving to this new country is not just about getting a job. There's all these little things like different grocery stores and Canadian Tire, Tim Hortons, and all these other things.
And I like to add only more one thing. I had a good life in Brazil. My salary was good. I can live with all the problems in Brazil and in Rio de Janeiro. I can live there with my job. I will not lose my job. But I give up for everything. I mean earn less money here. My job is more difficult here, but the other things and it's very good. The supermarket is good, your driving is good, you walk on the streets are good, and it's the compensate is this the health and the you grow my kids here. I couldn't see I have a kid in Rio de Janeiro with so much violence and the schools and the culture that this. I don't know, but it was very difficult in Rio de Janeiro. I couldn't see having a kid there, and here I talk with my father. Here I can have 3 kids, 4 kids. My house has 3 bedrooms, so the family here is happier than Brazil, I think, because of that.
Wow, man. Yeah. I remember riding on the buses in Sao Paulo when I lived there, and just remembering I have to always remember this memory of being stuck in traffic, because it's something that gives me inspiration to work hard and build VanHack, because I know the struggles of that. So I understand.
And I can see the kids playing on the streets here. In Rio de Janeiro, you don't see kids walking and using bike and running on the streets, because everyone there is inside the apartments, and here is on the streets.
Yeah. Ricardo, what are you thinking? How was your experience? Was it worth everything that you had to give up, or to just completely change your life so dramatically?
Well, yeah, I had a very comfortable life in Brazil, of course, and I worked for the same company for so many years, so I had a great salary, so great benefits as well. My wife is a civil engineer, so she had an impressive job. But consider a long-term plan, we could not see that landscape. You could not see that situation in a long term in Brazil. So it would better to move to Canada and change our life when the things are easier to deal with than later, you see. So we decided to do that change from Brazil to Canada, such as André explained us. It's very hard to adapt it. It's complicated, the new language. We have to interact with a new culture. Everything is difficult. Here, in November, December, January, February, and then we have some snow, and it's beautiful in the first year, but then it become worse. But I think if you compare the benefits and the perks and the benefits, you can see that your work will work at the end. So yeah, of course, probably during this last year, my life changed radically, changed strongly. But I'm sure. I'm sure that I did the right choice, and for the future, I have a better perspective here in Canada than I would have in Brazil. So what I have to do right now is improve my English, of course, to grow my career in some tech companies over here. Could be the same company that I am or other company. But I don't have to be very worried about healthcare, for example. Healthcare here works. It works. It is public. Everyone who has a study visa or work visa or even a permanent or a citizen, you have access to a public healthcare. So everyone is equal. The treatment is the same for everyone. The security aspects, it's pretty, it's reasonable. You can't see any kind of big problem as we see in Brazil, for example.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about how your children go back to school. They will go and they will go back safely. It's very difficult to be somebody to be kidnapped here. When it happens, so many police, so many people looking for some, and they solve really fast. Yeah. Of course, we have some problems related to narcotics, drugs at all, because but it can happen everywhere. I've seen some people writing in VanHack about drug addiction here in Canada. But I don't think it's a very specific thing about Canada. Your children won't be influenced by the fentanyl drug. It's a aspect that every country can have. So it's up to the parents. It's up to you to take care of it. So I really recommend that you're gonna have a lot of nights without sleep. But at the end, I think it will work, especially if you become a permanent resident. Then that's the great part.
Yeah, then you're basically going to be a citizen, and you have all the benefits traveling with the Canadian passport, right? Because after basically 2 years as a PR,
3 years.
3 years out of 5, I think they're. Yeah, so there's 4 from 6, now they're changing 3 to 5.
Yeah, 3 to 5.
Yeah. So after 3 years, you'll be a Canadian citizen, and you can travel with a Canadian passport and have all the benefits of education and public education and public health.
You said something really important. I didn't touch that before. Education, it's amazing. You see, it's so great. So healthcare, education, work. Quality of life, security, everything runs really smoothly. So for lately, guys, I've got to go because I have something at home. But it was my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, Ilya. Thank you, André. Thank you, everyone. You can contact me through LinkedIn. I will share my profile on the screen, so eventually you can chat a little bit, exchange experience. And I'm available to perform the infrastructure interview for VanHack.
Thanks so much, Ricardo. And congratulations on all your success again. And look forward to meeting in person. Actually, he was Andre. We haven't met. But we feel like you know each other so well. Anyways, congratulations again, Ricardo, and thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye, Andre. It was a pleasure to have you back. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
One last thing.
Cool. Awesome.
Before I go, one of the things that moved me to leave Brazil to be here is the flanelinhas. Canada doesn't have flanelinhas here. Do you know what's flanelinhas, Ilya? These are people that you stop the car and someone come and you take care of your car for you, and you need to pay for this. Here in Waterloo, you can parking everywhere, no problem with this. You find place to park your car, in our place. This is so good. Like the first day that I bought my car, and I can like stop my car everywhere in the middle of the city, supermarket, cinema, and everywhere. It's free, parking free, and you always have a parking slot. You always have a place to stop your car. And I cried like the first week. I cried a lot because it's so difficult to find a place to stop my car in Rio. And anyone bother you, never, like you don't have anyone bother you with anything here. So it's like a riven here, like I can't say
like heaven. Fair enough.
Heaven.
Yeah. No Flanders equals heaven. In Portuguese, it's called chuadoches. Cuidadores.
Cuidadores,
right? The people who are taking care, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's hilarious. Michelle said it's a good opportunity to become a flanelinia in Canada.
Yeah.
No, don't do this. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I will leave now to.
Yeah. Cool, Andre. Go have a great birthday.
Now I start my birthday.
Cool. Go celebrate all your accomplishments in this year. This year, you made a big change in your life, right? So,
and thank you for helping.
Congratulations on that.
You helped me a lot with the English class and all the advice, the curriculum. So thank you. You are helping all the Brazilian people from all around the world. And so, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, we'll have a beer in Waterloo. I guess a coffee, right? And seriously, my pleasure. Really, you're welcome. But for me, it's the work of my life. I love it, and so I'm very, very proud to see your success. And man, I think for me, the biggest way to say thank you is to help other people like we are now. So fantastic, man. Seriously.
So everyone, bye. Thank you very much, and see ya.
Yeah, talk soon, Andre. Thanks again. Really. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cool. So last but not least, I'm still here. I'll stick around for another few minutes, guys. So what did you guys think? Was it a fun webinar? What did you guys think? It was good. I can read your cover. I can't hear you, but I can read your chat here. And yeah, guys, as you can see, it's not easy, of course, getting hired abroad. But really, you can see how your life changes and good things happen. Of course, it's not always rainbows. There's many challenges like language, like maybe finding a job is not so easy. Potentially, the weather could be, or there's a lot of negative things. But I think really, it's at the end of the day, like the guy says, it's you're changing your entire life, and it's worth it. So anyway, let's get into some questions, guys. I'll stick around for another 5-10 minutes here. Disclosure: it is 2:30 in the morning in Berlin, where I am right now. So I am probably gonna pass out soon. But and also, guys, thank you so much for sticking around for an hour and a half. Wow. Raul, we actually do have a Slack channel. So actually, this is a great point. So for anyone here who isn't in the Slack channel yet, we have a Slack channel that's open to all VanHackers called the VanHackathon Slack channel. No, don't worry, guys. I like to stay up late. Yeah, I will say hi to Andre. Yeah, she's great. Yes, the link is here. It's the vanhackathon.signup.team. So sign up there. It's free. We share jobs there, share a lot of content, a lot of information. And we also, of course, have our VanHack Premium Slack group, which is where we share the interview practice links, and we have a little bit more of an intimate discussion one-on-one with our members and help them with everything. I think Caio and Marcelo and some other VanHack Premium members are here with us as well. I believe Chris as well too. Anyway, the point is that we are always chatting, and Slack is a good company from Vancouver. I don't know if you guys knew that they are actually a Vancouver company, Canadian company. Slack is, and not just from San Francisco. They started in Vancouver and went to San Francisco. And so, yeah, the next VanHackathon, great question, Renato. It will be either in October or September. We're trying to figure out the dates based on the, hey, Beto, awesome to see you here. Yeah, and Beto, honestly, thank you for making this happen. I definitely owe you a big beer after this webinar. So thank you for making it happen, for all your help. So yeah, hey man. So September or October, just because we're trying to decide whether we're going to do it together with the Vancouver Startup Week, which is the end of September, or in October. So I'm not sure yet, 100%. But we'll be soon, and in sometime in September or October, we'll definitely share the date with you in the next few months, few weeks even here, so you can get ready, prepare, create a team, and get hired. We're looking to make it our best VanHackathon ever, as always. So well, cool. Yeah, Kaya, thanks for the kind words about premium. Yeah, the way I like to say with premium, for especially people who need help with English, I feel like this is the biggest help, especially English conversation. We have 32 hours of English practice per month for $65. So that's $2 an hour, $2 Canadian dollars an hour. Which is the cheapest English practice you're ever going to find, and all the English practices for specifically job interviews at technical companies. So in addition to that, you get your resume revised, all the help with your LinkedIn, your cover letter, everything you need to do to apply to a job, get an interview, and then get hired. And then we, of course, do a lot of coaching and help you one-on-one during the process of getting hired. And all three members who were on the webinar today, all were VanHack Premium members. So we work a lot with them to help them get hired. Yeah, so we also do help. We do help with the resume. Yes, we reformat it, as well as we help with the actual content of it too. So listen, it's not something like Alvaro, I just saw, like don't worry. Like I honestly, for me, I much rather have you get hired than for you to join premium, because this is really what VanHack's all about, is getting hired, getting results. If you Joel, exactly, like don't worry, we know it's not a small amount of money, so don't feel like it's so more important than anything, if you have good tech skills and your English is okay, apply for our jobs. So I don't know if you guys know this, but on VanHack we have jobs. And we have jobs that are open to sponsoring visa. Welcome, Michelle. Great to have you part of the program, the community. So I posted this earlier, but I'll post it again. We have a job board, and for anyone here who hasn't signed up, well, first off, if you're on this webinar and you haven't signed up for a free VanHack account, what are you waiting for? We have a ton of free content as well. We have a free course. Marcelo mentioned this course, the How to Rock Your Job interview course. This is a very important course for us, because it goes over all the different questions, or most common questions, that you're going to be asked in a job interview. And Marcelo actually just had a job interview with a company in Germany, and he did well. He passed the next round, and I'd like to think that the course had a little bit to do with it. So here is the link for the course. It's free for anyone to watch. Of course, well, not of course, we have other courses that are paid, but this one is free. So check this out. And so what I'm trying to say is that we have jobs that are open to sponsoring your visa. We have over 100 jobs, and we're going to add more. We're adding 10, 15 jobs every week, and these jobs are specifically jobs that have told. Thanks, Joel. That's awesome, and we're almost at 200. And I feel the same way, Alvaro. Definitely feels like we're going in the right direction. And so, hey, Joanna, welcome to VanHack Premium, Joanna. So what I'm trying to say is the jobs anyone can apply for, and all the jobs are open to sponsoring visas. So what VanHack does, what we do is we go to all the companies in Canada and Europe where we operate. We don't operate just in Canada. We have actually offices in Europe, in Berlin, where I am now, growing our European operation, but of course very connected to Canada as well, where we're from. And Beto, who I mentioned, is someone who's been helping VanHack grow in Waterloo specifically. So we are talking to companies and seeing if they're open to hiring from abroad, and if they are, then we put their job on VanHack. Or if they're not, or they're not sure, then we educate them. We teach them, okay, well, if you want to bring someone in to get to work in your position, because guys, like, there's a huge talent gap both in Canada and Europe. What I mean is that there's a lot of open technical positions, and companies really need good talent to fill those roles. You saw the three members of the webinar. They all got jobs in tech, and I am not going to share their salaries, but I know their salaries because we talk about this. They're all making good salaries, and they are successful, and that's because they work in tech. So if you guys here working in tech, which I'm sure most of you are, then you have a much better chance than anyone else really to get an international position. For example, a lawyer or someone who works in a different field. So I would say, like, apply to our jobs. We have helped almost 200 people now, 192 get hired abroad, and our goal is 300 by the end of the year. So we need still 110, more or less 108, I think, people to get hired. So I hope one of those 108 people, or many of those 108 people here, are here on the webinar together with us. There's a lot of jobs open. So the types of skills that we're really looking for, React. If anyone here works with React, you have a very high chance of getting hired. I wrote a blog post about this recently, but React, DevOps, really hot skills right now. Java, Python, PHP, very hot skills. Symfony framework, Angular, any kind of tech skills. We only accept PayPal and credit card because it's an international transaction, Michelle. React.js and React Native, but more React.js. So we have tons of React.js jobs. We have tons of Java jobs. If you're a good Java developer, for sure, we have jobs for you. Ruby on Rails as well. .NET, ton of .NET jobs. Anyways, guys, you can see all the jobs on the job board. Fun fact: we're redesigning the whole website, so soon it'll be much better UX. Michelle, I'm in Canada. Oh, you're in Canada. Okay, well, email me, Michelle, because we might be able to do Canadian debit card. Frederico, what do you mean when you say me? What does that mean? Node, React Node. Oh, cool. Frederico, you're Frederico from Chile, who's a premium member, because I know there's a Frederico from Chile, but I don't know your last name, so I can't tell. I think that's you, but I'm not sure. If it's not, then just email me your resume or apply to the jobs on VanHack. We do try our best to get back to people right away. One of our goals for VanHackers is to give them a response as soon as possible for the jobs, because we know that's a very big, important thing. So even if you didn't get the position, we let you know as much as possible. Business intelligence, definitely, Maxon. There's a ton of BI jobs. We don't have so many on VanHack specifically because companies more talk to us about development jobs. Julie Van, yes, definitely. There's a React or Java job here. So what I was saying about business intelligence, there's a lot of BI jobs, especially if you work with like Tableau or QuickView. That's not such a focus for us in terms of our job board, Maxon, but there's definitely a lot of those jobs in general in Canada and Europe. So we have a really good Java job in Berlin. It's a fintech company, one of the best fintech companies. Yes, Michelle, VanHack.com. One of the best fintech companies in Europe is hiring Java developers. So I will share that job here right now. But we have, really good Java developer positions. Also, here we go. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty tired, Joel. Julie Van, email mo@vanhack.com with your resume. Bye, Lucas. Email mo@vanhack.com with your resume, and he will send and tell him you want to apply to that job, that job link, and you will, you'll get a coding test, and we'll make it happen. Cool, guys. I am going to go to sleep because it's almost 3 a.m. But I just wanted to say for everyone here who was at the webinar from the beginning, I don't know if you were, but if you were, thank you so much for sticking around for almost 2 hours with us here. I hope it was very helpful. And boot camps, I do recommend if you really need it, because you can also learn a lot about coding by yourself. But it is a good option. Thanks, Levan. We'll try and help as much as possible. But yeah, guys, the biggest thing I guess I'll say is, if you think, there's so much to do, do one thing a day, even if it's small, one thing a day to get closer to your goal. And keep an eye out for new jobs that we post all the time in the Slack group. Oh, Felipe, where are you? It says almost 3 a.m. here too, same time zone. Where in the world are you? Are you in Europe, I'm guessing? Yeah, so not quite yet, Delmar. maybe next year. I don't know. This is no, for me it's not just about that. Of course you want to have success, but it's more about one of my mottos is how solve a lot of other people's problems and you won't have any yourself, or you'll have very less than normal. Cool. Felipe, Malta, are you working for a company there? Interesting. I know there's a company, Hotjar, that has an office in Malta. All right, guys, cool. Felipe, maybe email me, tell me what you're doing in Malta. Very interesting. Everyone else, if you ever have any questions, just email me, ilya@vanhack.com. I don't always get back. If I don't, I apologize, just because sometimes you get a lot of emails. You could always Slack me as well in the Van Hackathon group. I do, try to respond. I'm not always responsive as I'd like to be, but we do have a great team at VanHack, especially for premium members. Guys, thank you as well. I will go. I promise I'll stop talking. Anyways, so hope you enjoyed the webinar. Have a great weekend. Apply for some jobs on VanHack if you're looking for them. Hopefully you'll be the next VanHacker hired. And hey, who knows, maybe in a few months you'll be here on the webinar sharing your experience as well. So awesome, guys. And thank you so much again. We'll see you in the next webinar, probably in a few weeks. Keep an eye out. And again, welcome to VanHack for everyone who's new. All right. Bye, guys. I'm going to pass out. Cheers.